let's take a look at our top selections for Hi everybody, Dan Illman here, taking a look at race number 10 at Pimlico on a stakes-laden 4th of July card. 4 stakes on tap at Pimlico. Let's focus right now on the $100,000 Lite the Fuse Stakes. Some salty sprinters going 3/4 of a mile. A very familiar name as your morning line favorite. That's the number 7, Yaupon, who won his first 4 starts, including the Grade 2 Amsterdam, the Grade 3 Chick Lang. And by virtue of that record, he ended up the favorite in the Breeders' Cup Sprint and the favorite in this year's Dubai Golden Shaheen. Now, he didn't run well in both of those starts, but he gets massive class relief, and he's got a good amount of early speed. We'll throw up the Timeform US pace projector because this really is the key to this race. Yaupon, the 7, has speed. Chateau, the number 5, has big early speed. I talked to Steve Asmussen on Thursday morning about Yaupon, and I asked him, what are the tactics? He says they're sending Yaupon. They've taken the speed away from him in his last 2 races. That's not what he does best. He likes to run and gun. Chateau might have something to say about that. And if Chateau and Yaupon hook up in a pace duel, it could set things up for somebody else. So keep an eye for scratches. You're going to upgrade one of those speeds, obviously, if the other one scratches. Let's take a look at Threes Over Deuces, the number 1. This is a hard-hitting veteran. The problem with Threes Over Deuces is it's kind of a nibbler. 12 seconds, 7/3, only 6 wins from 35 lifetime starts. But if the pace is really fast, this horse always has a puncher's chance from the back. He's also cross-entered at Delaware Park on Saturday, so still deciding where he's going to go is trainer Gary Capuano. But Threes Over Deuces could come with a late run in this race, and at the very least spice up your single race exotics. The number 2 is Valued Notion. Valued Notion took advantage of an off-the-turf scenario last time out in the Ben's Cat, going 5/8 of a mile at Pimlico. Off-the-turf race, facing a bunch of turf horses, Valued Notion showed good speed, burst clear on the turn under Xavier Perez, and then scooted on home. It was a career-best buyer performance for Valued Notion, but that career best buyer is only a 74, and it pales in comparison to the numbers earned by Yaupon and Chateau and some of the other big names in this race. I'm going to keep an eye on Valued Notion. I wonder if this race might be a bit too tough. Whiskey and You is the number 3. This one's in very good form right now. Hit the board in his last 3 races. Missed last time out in an optional claiming event. But he's another horse that has to prove himself in the stakes ranks. He's a good, solid optional claiming type. But I wonder if this Maryland bred is in a bit too tough. And his preferred running styles to try to get close to the pace. And with burners like Yaupon and Chateau in here, I don't think he can stay as close. A horse that can stay as close is the venerable Maryland bred number 4, Lakai. He's won 11 of 34 lifetime starts, and he's getting Lasix again. I talked to trainer Damon Dilladovico, and he said he just bled a little bit last time out in the Grade 3 Maryland Sprint when racing without Lasix. He was hard ridden down towards the inside and just couldn't keep up. But his last couple of races with Lasix, pretty good, including that win in the Frank Whiteley 2 starts back over Lebda, who's also in this field. Lakai actually breaks really well from his races and then likes to settle in a mid-pack position. A fast pace could work very well for this horse, who should be running late under Horacio Caramanos. The 5 is Chateau, trained by Rob Atras and based in New York. Second in the Run Happy last time out. We're going to watch that race because it took a really good horse to beat Chateau, and that is Firenze Fire, who's going to start the big favorite in Sunday's John A. Nehrude at Belmont. Chateau shook clear in this race, got out to an early lead, just was no match for Firenze Fire in the stretch. This is a horse that is improved by leaps and bounds this year. He shows big early speed. It'll be interesting to see what happens if a horse the quality of Yaupon looks Chateau in the eye early. Will Chateau blink? We'll find out. Lebda's the number 6. Lebda's a horse who began his career with a lot of promise for Claudio Gonzalez. He won both the Miracle Wood and the Private Terms, routing for 3-year-olds. He's been on a little bit of a losing streak since then, however. 2 starts back, I just couldn't find the excuse. He made the lead against Lakai, and Lakai just ran right by him in the stretch. Last time out in the Maryland Sprint, wide might not have been the place to be on the racetrack that day. Lebda might have been up against it. Horses' saving grounds seemed to do better at Pimlico on May the 15th. That being said, I kind of like Lebda at slightly longer distances, 7/8 of a mile than 3/4. And here's Yaupan. What can you say other than he ran big at Pimlico, the one and only time he tried this surface, winning the Chick Lang against fellow 3-year-olds. Now, I thought he took advantage of an inside speed favoring track that day, but he has run some big figures in his career. The Breeders' Cup Sprint, a little bit disappointing. The trip didn't work out. As Asmussen said, it was a lot for a 3-year-old to try older Grade 1 stakes horses in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. And the Dubai Golden Shaheen, they shipped him halfway across the world for his first start as a 4-year-old, and I believe Asmussen used the term overwhelming for Yaupan. He was overwhelmed in that race. This is a great spot for him, and if he goes right to the front and gets away with a little bit of a breather, he's simply the horse to beat. He's not going to offer a lot of value in this race. And if Chateau does go with Yaupan early, maybe it sets things up for a horse like Lakai, who's going to be my top selection in here. Lakai may be at around 4-1 or 9-2 could be my play. I'm going to go 4, 5, 6, 7 in the Lite the Fuse, one of 4 stakes races on a 4th of July Sunday at Pimlico with a mandatory payout in the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. Good luck.